Welcome, Oliver, to my show, Conversation with Ernie. And I want to welcome you and thank you very much for taking the time to be interviewed by myself. And I do have your notes here, and I'm going to go through those a little bit. And it says that what you've accomplished to this point and why you did what you did is at one time you were very abusive to your kids, and you lost your relationship with your son's mom of 28 years. Would you like to expand on that or tell me a little bit more about what you have done?
Sure. So when I said, just to a slight correction there, not up to 28 years. My oldest son is 28.
Okay.
So yes. So sure. So born and raised in a Caribbean island, Jamaica, on the farm. The era change of raising kids. So I was brought up, in a sense of there's a fine line between, child abuse and punishment. And not to say anything about my parents, but that's what they had, that's all the tools they had. Mm-hmm. So having said that, 16 years old, I migrated to Canada and in a relationship, and, my son was born when I was 20, so I was fairly young. And, Ernie, it's one of those things where, when you're young, you always think back, or you're always thinking, when I have kids, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do things a little bit different. We all go through that stages, whosoever have kids. And then I find myself doing the same thing that I was raised into, and which makes sense because, that's the culture I grew up in. And I lost that relationship very, very quickly. And it was devastating for me because I never wanted to see myself, separated from my kids, only because it's the same thing. The way I was born and raised and the culture and the environment, that's what I've seen around, where the dads are not, in the child's life. So I didn't want it to be that. Not that if we separated, I wouldn't be, but I just wanted to have that family bond relationship. So it was devastating for me.
I can understand that completely. And I have to commend you for your courage to coming out with the information that you are and what has happened in your life. And a very similar thing happens to many people in life today and has happened in the 50s and 60s. It's not the Leave It to Beaver or the Donna Reed show or the Ozzie and Harriet show. It is more like the Terminator show.
Yep.
And, it's really not funny. I mean, I had a mother who was very abusive. My father would hold back because he thought by getting in the way, it would cause her to be a lot worse. And she was undiagnosed as bipolar, but who knows what happened in the last 15 years of her life, because she was a beautiful woman the last 15 years of her life. And I don't know what happened or what changed her, but it also, even though I didn't do the different things like my mother did, like kick, punch, beat, burn my fingers and what have you, she did certain things. And of course you carry on part of that. My father would tell me, oh, you're always too strict with your children. And I would always be, well, at least I'm not kicking, punching, burning, but other things. And my
right, something got to give, right?
Yeah. So, it's kind of like you put your thumb down there. Oh, there it is. And are you still love me there? So I totally understand. So why are you sharing with the audience your story? What have you developed to change what you have done?
I share that because, number one, like you said, a lot of people gone through this, and I want to make sure people understand that it's not what you've gone through, it's how you deal with it. And so once I quickly, I wouldn't say quickly, but I tried to recover from that. And, fast forward to, my second relationship with is my present wife now, married for 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
14 next week. Ernie, When you think you learn from something, and then when my son was not even 4 yet, my second son, not even 4 yet, I find myself doing a similar thing. And obviously, because of the person who I am and the person who I wanted to be, quickly, just to give you the skinny version of it, I was a little bit anxiety and depressed for about a week because I lost it on my son, and I lost it on my wife and everybody else because, my son was just not doing the things he's supposed to be doing based on, how I want him to raise, or I want to raise him. And, he started, telling, my wife that I hate you, my mom even was slamming doors. So after all that, and, I came in and scold him, and I really gave it to him, and then my wife was really upset at me, so I lost it on everybody, Ernie.
Mhm.
And that's when I start doing some self-reflection within a week. Like I said, I almost lost my job. I couldn't focus within a week. For about 2 to 3 hours I'll leave the house just to kind of walk away and chill for a little bit. There's a little small little pond by where I live. And I just sat there for hours and just try to self-reflect and try to figure out, how did I get here again? And what do I need to do to get to the place I want to get to? And that whole week changed my entire life. Totally changed my entire life. I remember clearly it was the beginning of the summer months, and I get into the summer. I got into a lot of books. Ernie, I don't think I finished one book through high school or college,
Mm.
but I got through a few books when it comes to personal development and child raising. And, I save up some money to get a few mentors, and I find myself, logging on into webinars and seminars and all of these things. I just went into a whole different world. And that entire summer changed my entire life for me and my family.
And I assume it changed for the better.
Oh, 100%.
And from what I have learned and what I've heard from my research is that you have actually developed a course to help other parents.
Correct. That's correct. So I spent 9 years. After that, I spent another, 9 years of, the things that I've learned within that year just propelled me to continue to, learn more and to provide for my family. And that was only my mission. And being part of the community, working in the community centers for as a coordinator and director of summer camps and different programs. And I found myself mentoring other parents. I used to run my own basketball program too, and I find myself mentoring my parents, and parents over 6-7 years, Ernie, have been pushing me. This is not for you. You need to go do something else in terms of empowering more parents. But that wasn't my mission then. So I kept on, ignoring all those callings.
Mhm.
And one lady into my program say, you know what? You changed my life. You changed my son's life. My sons are, he's doing things a little bit different, more positive. And I want to hire you. I want you to come to my house and, help me to help my child.
Mhm.
And that was it. And after that, I think it was a 7-week program or 10-week program. I don't remember. It was a long time. And in between those 10 weeks, that's when I had the courage. My vision started coming clear to me, what I need to do as a person, because I'm always a coach. I was always a coach, coach soccer, basketball, coordinate camps, directing camps, counselor for years. And, that's always my thing. So, and I love kids. And even before I had kids, I was very passionate about, just seeing kids and wanting to have kids. And that's it. And so from then, I start developing a program for parents to raise successful kids and to create harmony at home. And the best part is without all the frustrations. That is key. The reason why I want to stress this for your audience, Ernie, because a lot of parents don't think they can raise a successful child or whatever they want the child to be without the daily frustrations and ordering and directing and yelling and correcting. Yes, it is possible.
That is very true. You're the answer to those people that'll say, well, this child doesn't come with a manual.
Correct.
You actually have developed a manual to help teach people. And where can they get a hold of you, Oliver, if they want to know more about it or more about your teaching or your course?
Sure. All social media and also my website, mindfulparentingtoolkit.com. And, all social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, all social media. You can find me at Mindful Parenting Toolkit. And I just want to add that it's interesting, Ernie, because over the last 4 years, I've been mentoring and teaching parents these strategies and techniques.
Mhm.
Most of my students who graduate from my program, 88 to 89% mothers and grandmothers, even aunties. And most of those students, probably 50% of them, at the end of the course or in the course, they always say, when are you going to do something for fathers? Not that my program is only for mothers, but when I'm in a group setting, 15, 20 people on Zoom at a time, 90% of them are mothers.
Mhm.
And 50% of them would challenge me to say, you need to do something for fathers. There's so many things out there for mothers already. You need to, and again, I was just ignore.
Mhm.
And then this year I said to myself, you know what? This year I'm going to do it for fathers. So this August, the 13th of August, I'm starting a 4-day boot camp for fathers only, for dads only, how to create harmony in the family and live the dad lifestyle they always desire.
That's wonderful, Oliver. I'm telling you that your program is long overdue. My nephew, from my brother who has passed away, only had me to rely on, and he wanted to know why he has such a temper. And he never knew my mother the way that my brother and I knew my mother. And she was vicious. And I would say, well, because of your grandmother, and I know you don't want to hear this, but because of your grandmother, how she used to be reflected on your brother and myself. And that's why, and you saw his temper, you have re-seen my temper, and now you know why you have a temper, because that's all that was modeled to you from the people before you. So I commend you for coming out with this. I commend you for stepping out and saying, I used to do this, but then I changed. And this is going to help so many people. And audience, I want to tell you that I want to put the website name underneath this YouTube so that you can actually get a hold of Oliver. And if you want to be interviewed, it doesn't matter if you are down and out, or you become successful, or you're homeless and you become successful, you went to jail and now you have success in your life. That's what these people want to hear. They want to hear people of inspiration, of stories, average, everyday people who made a difference. And if you think that being homeless or going, being in jail or what have you is stopping you from your future. You have another thing coming to you because there are many people that that were actors and actresses that actually went to jail and were homeless. And today are extremely successful, extremely wealthy, and living a good lifestyle because of that. So I urge you to watch this, like it, comment below, share it with your friends, anything you want to do with this YouTube. And we will see you again. And I am glad to have the time with Oliver to take care of that. Any parting words before you go, Oliver?
Sure. While you're talking, I said to myself, you know what, for your audience, what I'll do for any parents who click on the link, go to the site, you will get a free complimentary workshop, 1 hour to an hour and a half. That workshop alone will change your life. Just one workshop will change your life. So for your audience, they can click on the site and they can log on and they can log on to that portal.
That is great, Oliver, and it's generous of you. And I thank you for very much for telling the audience something like that. Audience, when you click on our website here or on this YouTube video, tell them that we sent you, that Ernie and Oliver sent you so that you get the free hour and a half. And that way we'll know that you are concerned about your future and the future of your children. Thank you very much, Oliver. I guess I will sign out for now and